Hi, this is attorney Christy from the Christie Law Firm, where we work hard to make families stronger. And so today, in this next part in our series around domestic violence, I want to talk to you about how to get help. And so, domestic violence, as I've been pointing out, is not easy. It is a very tough situation to be in. And I have found that there are assumptions that people make about domestic violence victims. Why don't they just get out? Why are they putting up with this? And they shouldn't do that. If he did it before, he's going to do it again. And they're just stupid to stay. And so I don't agree with those kinds of thoughts. I don't think it is easy to leave that kind of situation. I think it's very difficult and it takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of support. And so, what I'd like to do is at least give you some pointers on how to do it if you really realize that this is what you're in and you want to get out. So, the very first step in dealing with any kind of domestic violence is acknowledging that that's what it is. It is very hard. You love this individual, and oftentimes it's a woman dealing with a man, but it can be vice versa. And so you really love him. You think that he has so many strengths. You know that he can be loving, but then there is this other side. And what you have to understand is that other side is him too. The loving side is a part of him, but it's also part of this cycle where the violence happens and then they're very loving and then they start to get frustrated about something that you did and put it all on you, and then the incident happens again. And so you have to acknowledge for yourself this is what you're in, and that you definitely cannot live the rest of your life like that, and you especially can't live with your children in that environment. And so the next thing you would want to do is try to find a domestic violence counselor. You can find individual counselors. There are domestic violence shelters and programs throughout the state of Connecticut. They actually work as one whole network, so no matter where you are, there is somebody nearby you within your region that can help you. If you have to get out really fast, they can also put you in a secret shelter, and they have access to shelters throughout the state. And so, if you're deciding that it is time for you to leave that scenario, what you can do is develop what I call, or what DCF has called, a safety plan. And that is where you think through what is the worst case scenario and how would you get out of it. So, for example, if he tries to take your phone, do you have a phone somewhere else, another phone, one of those flip phones? On TV they call them burner phones, but make sure you have another phone somewhere else. Teaching the kids how to dial 911 for themselves. Making sure that you maybe have a neighbor that if they hear this screaming or yelling, that they immediately call the police, because you might not be able to get to the phone. So you want to develop your own safety plan. It might involve going to a friend's house that he or she doesn't know about. It might be going to a relative out of state. Hey, I'm just taking the kids on vacation, and just don't come back. Find a way to leave, but make sure that you leave safely. And if you have gotten to a point where you've decided to leave, one of the most dangerous times for any domestic violence victim is when they tell their abuser, I'm leaving. And so I would not advise confronting the individual and saying, I'm leaving, because at that point, they're going to exercise the greatest amount of control that they can. And it could be physical. They could literally try to keep you from leaving the house physically. And so you don't want to make the announcement. You just want to try to find the quietest way to leave without any incident. It could be where you wait till they go to work, or like I said before, hey, I'm going to go visit my sister Kathy, or I'm going to go visit my friend Cookie. Just leave. Sometimes it might mean leaving the things behind, but if you can plan ahead and you think, okay, I'm going to put my resources away, I'm going to open up a different bank account that he does not have access to. Do what you need to do, plan ahead as much as possible. But there may be times when there's just not enough time to plan, that he's become very, very violent. He's threatened to kill you. Just get out while you can. Get out as soon as possible. Again, there are resources in the state that will help you if you should need some kind of immediate shelter. You don't have to go to a friend's house. And by shelter, I don't mean it necessarily have to be, somewhere where you're not comfortable. They'll put you in somewhere where it's comfortable and then work with you around housing. There are even laws in the state of Connecticut around breaking your lease if it was an issue of domestic violence. So don't worry about your lease. Don't worry about anything. I think even employers are sensitive if you have to leave immediately and need to take a couple of days off so that you can get yourself to safety. The police are also mandated to make arrests when there is domestic violence. They don't have to ask for permission. They don't have to ask whether or not you want to press charges. As long as there is an incident of domestic violence and there's probable cause, they will arrest the individual. And so we'll talk a little bit more about protective orders and restraining orders, which are designed to protect you and can protect you if we use them correctly. And so if you want to know more about domestic violence, we do have some more videos. We'll also be talking about DCF and domestic violence, how they handle that, how they address that with victims. And so our goal here is to really help you make sure that you keep your family strong and also take care of your kids and give them the best environment possible. So if you need any information, you can always contact us, but please stay tuned and continue to watch our videos where we will find information that will help you make your family stronger. Take care.